Hi, how are we all doing? Hope we've not got any suicides yet. What a crazy 7 days. I've obviously got rid of those previous consolidation, range bound areas. I had the range bound areas actually here on these two wicks, and then I had a higher range around 40,800. I was just looking at and I was zooming out, and we've obviously wicked down to this range here. We've pretty much hit 28,800. And going back in time, so that is actually the yearly open. If you look on the 1st of January here, we pretty much opened the first candle of the year on the daily time frame there. And if you look in the past, we've actually been down to retest that, which was support to resistance, resistance to support. So that's a support level. And to be honest, I thought we were done there. I thought that dumper over. I thought all the fear had been pretty much bled out of the market. But we did come back down. We have tested those previous yearly opens, so that is now support. We've used it a few times before, and if you're looking at this entire move, I mean, you could say that is the top of the range. Now, as you can see, we've had two rejections off that there, so that is probably the top of the range, and we're going to go with this for now. I think this is going to be the best potential setup that we can see. We've actually reacted very well. I mean, if you look in the past when we bounced down to this retest of those that yearly open, we did quite a decent pump. If you look at our entire candle there, it was a 17% candle. We've not quite done that yet, but if you just look at this entire candle here, from the bottom to where we are now, we've done a 12%. And if you look at the entire candle from when we dropped, that's a 15% candle. So good reaction so far. We're not out of the woods, and this is not confirming that we are in or out of a bear market. I think a bear market, I mean, we have been pretty much dropping ever since, but I think a bear market would be confirmed if we did close below this and started dropping back down to 24k region, which is around my area. But it's tough, isn't it? I mean, you could have said we was in a bear market if you predicted it when we hit 64k, because we did a massive drop. We did that recovery, which was a relief bounce, and we went into a free fall. But so far, we've had a good reaction to that yearly open. So hello everyone, welcome to today's stream. If you are new here, make sure that you are subscribed. I can see a lot of you talking in chat. Probably a few bits of flapping around. You know what it is, that's crypto. If you're new to crypto and you're in this stream, then happy days, because you've not been savaged yet. I think a lot of this, what we've got over the course of pretty much since that drop, since 41k, is that weeding out of noobs. I think people were expecting a bounce back at around 35k, which never come, and we've had pretty much, if you look at the daily candles, we've had about 8 in a row which have been in the red now. Usually do get a little bit of relief on the way up, and we've been expecting it every day since last Thursday, but it's not come. So far, this candle, if we just have a look, change them to proper colours that it should be. So far it's actually a green candle, which is quite rare. I mean, we did have one there, but that's nothing to shout about, that one at 35k. But yeah, so far it's green. I think closing anything above 31,500 will be a good step in the right direction, because yeah, it's not looking the best, but we have managed to use this area of support, which is a bullish sign, to be honest. We'll keep the candles in this colour for the purpose of this video, and maybe for the purpose of the next few videos to see what goes on in terms of price action. So BTC, I mean, look at the outside, it's still up at 37%, so it's not majorly oversold yet, so there's potential it could drop down to these regions at 24k, but let's see. Let's see if we continue this bounce and get a few days of greenery. I'm still expecting this to, let's just have a look at this entire move. So really, we need to push back up and target this 33,400. If we can close above that, then that will be bullish. And then a couple of daily candles, we may be having a look at a bit of a setup like this. So we've done this major move up, major move down. Really, we've hit this so far and we've actually rejected off it. What we're looking for is a close above that, potentially, yeah, around there. Maybe come back down and test a level down here and then go back up and test that 618 level. So that's a little bit of a bullish scenario that we need to play out for us to get some growth back in here, because currently it's looking quite nasty, isn't it? I was hoping for the 24k. We are not out of the woods yet. There's a good potential that we could come down to that 24k region, mate. It shows around this area here. Look around there. We're a bit of trading within that range, so that's a potential area that we could fill around 24k there. So that's a potential area too, but we could go down to. But remember, this just could be a relief bounce before we do head down. So take it whichever way you want, but it's not the best. Not the best so far, but it is a good reaction. I mean, that candle's looking quite bullish. If we can push up and form a bit of a hammer, then happy days. Tomorrow we will go to 24k. Always a possibility, mate. Do you think RSI can reach 50 cents? What is it now? 2.2 cent. Long term, yes, I do believe it can, but I don't think there's any point in looking at those type of prices yet. Long term, solid project. If you can manage to get some orders filled down here, happy days. I think anything under 5 cents is an absolute steal, to be honest. I'm lucky. I don't know how, but I've managed to stay in profit on my RSI trade. I think I bought it about 1.5 cent around here on that high there. So still in profit on that, which is crazy. Dippity dip dips. It has been an absolute savage dip, hasn't it? How much has Bitcoin dropped overall though? Let's get rid of that setup. So for the year, if you look at the open of the yearly candle, we have done a 126% rise over the entire year. If we look at this retracement, we have done a 55% drop. So I mean, we have seen stronger pullbacks, to be honest, over the course of the last 10 years of Bitcoin. So so far not too bad. T-Fuel is dead. Nothing's dead, mate. It's just a pullback. Even if we go into a bear market, shit happens, doesn't it? Crypto is not dead, and if you believe crypto is dead, you shouldn't be on the stream, and you shouldn't be in crypto, to be honest. Nasty daily candle there. We bounced off this area here, which is a 35 cent, 34 cent. Let's see if it can do some recovery. Tell you what, I'm not sure if you jumped on my live stream this morning. That managed to crash. So the greed and fear index is at 10, which is low. I mean, if the markets do stay like this currently, they'll probably be about 0 if we check tomorrow. But that's buy the fear territory. Let's just have a quick look at the stock to flow model, which is probably being absolutely hammered at the minute. Currently within his range. I'm still expecting a big push up here towards the end of the year, so far all is okay on that. Let's change my candles back, I'm not keen on them. Weekend is going to be confirmation of the bear market. That is always a possibility, mate, and the bear markets are the best times to accumulate your favourite assets. So if it comes, happy days. If it doesn't and we retrace and start pushing back up, happy days. Either way, if you're still in crypto now and you're monitoring the prices, then you're going to be onto a winner, because at some stage it will push back up. I'm not too fussed. I'm still holding out bearish. I have a long-term outlook on cryptocurrency, so I couldn't really give a rat's ass what's going on here. If it drops lower, I've got stable assets in place. So I've just unlocked 12k USDC. So if anything comes lower and BTC does start retracing down to these regions, I've got a bit of spare USDC there to throw at some altcoins and maybe even to BTC. So let's see how it goes on. Currently, not a bad reaction. I mean, that's like a what do we bounce off? 28,800. So it's like that's like a $2,500 candle at a minute. So it is showing a little bit of strength down at that range. Wyckoff accumulation distribution isn't over. Possibly not, mate. If it continues down here, happy days. Buy the dip area down here. I think if it comes down to that region, even if it comes lower down to these previous all-time highs, all it will be is an accumulation period. So if you're looking to stay in this long term, some great buying opportunities down here, to be honest. Nothing is over. I mean, who cares? Who cares if it drops down here? I'm not fussed. Markets move up and down aggressively. I'm really not fussed what it does. I reckon the rest of this month could be shit. July could be shit. I think we might start to retrace a little bit from when is it? From around August potentially. I saw that wyckoff early on. Actually, I'm going to show it. Let's see if we can find it. Probably lost the tweet now. Let's see if I can find it on Twitter. Saw it down here somewhere. This one. There's a couple of different wyckoff theories, so there's distribution and accumulation. So this one is the accumulation one, which looks very similar to what's gone on with a potential push to the upside. That's one scenario, but there's also another wyckoff, which is the distribution, where it's bouncing around and it pops down to around this region. So either way, one of them could potentially happen, but remember, patterns are there just as a possibility, not as something that's set in stone. Lots of bears in my house. I never understand bears. Are bears these people who are wanting to accumulate lower, or bears people who are just not happy with price action? There's always it's always a little bit like that, isn't it? I'm a long-term bull. Probably short-term, yes, bearish. Definitely bearish on short-term. We've had that major retracement, and if you're looking to think, right, this is bullish, then you're definitely wrong. We are not bullish. I mean, if you want to look at a 15-minute time frame, you could think, oh, we had a nice bullish uptick there, but zoom out and zoom out and zoom out, and it looks absolutely horrific. Like the weekly time frame looks bad. But let's see if we can. I mean, weekly candles not the best so far, but let's see if we can start pushing up. Most time frames are looking quite bearish. You could say it is a bear market, but there's always that possibility we could blast up straight out of it, to be honest. I personally believe we can see 200k BTC by early next year. Potentially, you never know. Ready to go shopping, but not until market structure change. Agreed, mate. You shouldn't really be buying at these levels yet, unless you see a confirmation of an uptrend, which would potentially be a break above 41k. I think if we did drop below this region here now, which is that yearly open, which is acted as support all the way through, then it would be time to sit on your hands, wait to see once we do get a potential bottom, so we could actually break through this, use this as support and go up and down a little bit, and then wait for a clear direction back up. But likewise, if you're looking for a potential continuation of the uptrend eventually, you're looking for something like this, a break above that, maybe a confirmation of that would be a break and a retest of that before you did push on. But yeah, there's no set way really. I mean, a break below that region would lead me into sitting on my hands and not buying anything for a while. And the same with this. I mean, I'm sat in my major alts, which I will not sell. I've got targets on them, so I don't care if the market goes up or I don't care if it goes down. Only in the long term till the targets happen. If we do come down to these regions, stable assets in position, ready to buy that dip. Easy guys, how's it going? Let's see how this holds up. If we do hold above this, we could still go sideways for a while. I mean, I've changed my ranges around here, broadened them up a little bit, got quite a bigger area now, so got from 28k up to 41k. Still within this range, and if you look at that, that was that entire range from then. currently using this yearly as support. My cheeky ETH looking highly likely. When Skoda, when Lada. No more Lambos, not yet. Lambos are out of question, aren't they? Right, if anyone wants me to take a look at any assets, I can't believe there's a bit of greenery on the side here. If you want me to take a look at any altcoins, then fire them in chat and I'll get to them. It does a bit like, it looks like Peak District. All over the place at chat. You wouldn't have thought that the opening from January, we're back down to that start, so you've had pretty much 6 months of absolutely nothing really. So if you manage to take profit up here, happy days. I'm quite lucky I managed to sell some alts in some decent profit. My major alts still got them, not too worried about that for a minute. Look at Polygon, let's have a look at Matic. I think that dropped below $1, didn't it? Let's see if it reacted. Okay, that has reacted. Just looking at middle wick there, which rejected off at 92 cent. You could say that's an area of daily resistance then, which has turned into support this time. So shows that we've got a little bit of liquidity within that range. That wick dropped right through it on that major dump. Surprised it's not gone back down to those levels, because a lot of altcoins, if you look at them, when we did that initial drop, most altcoins have gone beyond that. So Matic, I'm not going to say it's held up well, because nothing's held up well, as everything's been absolute carnage. I mean, that daily candle yesterday was horrific, but so far we've had a good reaction. We're back above $1 at $1.14. So I'm not going to say buy anything now, but if you're looking to set some orders, maybe ladder some down from 93 cent down to 74. I think 74 cent could be a decent level to buy. But so far, Doge is doing quite well today, which is surprising. But yeah, we have got a little bit of greenery now, considering we've had a decent bounce back. BTC at 32k, who'd have thought that one would be down to 28? So that's Polygon. Let's have a look at what's next. Dot on Coinbase going nuts. I won't say it's going nuts, to be honest, mate. It's had a nice bounce off that lower region at 12.96. Currently rejected off 16.86. There's pretty much not much point analysing all these alts in terms of buying opportunities. We just need to look at levels which we need to reclaim, really. So I mean, if we just get rid of these ranges now, really we need to reclaim this area where we had that double bottom. So we'll mark that level up. Really we need to reclaim that level for us to flip that to support. If we manage to flip that to support and close above that, that will act as some nice support, and then it will turn that resistance into a nice level. So if you're looking for dot, maybe wait for it to get back above that region, turn that to support, and then maybe something like this, wait for it to break up, and then maybe buy on a retest of that and then go back up. But that's only a bullish scenario. In terms of bearish scenario, maybe look at buys down at 12, and then look at this top range here at about $10. Could be a decent range if the market does allow. Spaceman, I literally just looked at Matic after you said it. Thanks for that donation, Mo. If it did dip again, then I just identified that level there, mate. 93 cent could be a good buy. It really depends if it drops. We've also got this region down here. So if you look at it, acted as support quite a lot. Then and then we've actually used it as support again. So 74 cent could be a region to place some orders if it does come down to that level. I can't see us going much lower down that range, to be honest. I think we've had some major pullbacks on alts. I mean, let me just take you a look at Vechain here. If you look at this entire move, we'll see how much it's dropped. From them highs down to there. Well, not as much as it was before, has it? I mean, some alts have done 18-90% drops, which is mental because fundamentally nothing has changed. It's just sheer fear and a little bit of China FUD, isn't it? But yeah, let's see what goes on. Very bearish looking charts across the board. Don't know why, but it's just not bothering me. I mean, I'm quite lucky to buy my alts back down here, and even down here. I've been fortunate to be in crypto 5-6 years now, so nothing bothers me really. I know that these cycles happen. We have major pushes to the upside, major retracements, and for me, I think it's just another opportunity. This, if we did drop below that 28,800 level, I wouldn't be concerned, but I would be then placing orders down to this 24k region, which could be the next area we go if we did drop below that. But it is what it is, isn't it? You have to take the rough with the smooth, and we would quite happily sit here and watch this pump up. But when it comes to where a lot of people don't like this, and zoom out a little bit, if you look on the weekly, I mean, look at it. We're moving cycles all the way up, and this was a major pump, but we've had bigger pullbacks, to be honest. What did I say? It was a 55% pullback. We've had 80-90% pullbacks in the past. I'm not saying that this is over, because it's potentially not over, but it is showing that is a key level of support there. So let's see what goes on now. AJ HBAR. Let's have a look. I've not looked at is that HBAR graph? Last time I looked at that was when we seemed to be forming a downtrend, which we fucking have, haven't we? That's one hell of a downtrend. So where have we been on HBAR? We've been all the way up to 46 cent so far. Let me just change this music. Could do some heavy metal to get us through this drop, couldn't we? So if you're looking at this entire drop so far, it's done a 70% pullback. Nasty. We need to have a look at some levels of support though. Let's have a look at my weekly first, actually. See if we can find any key levels of support which marry up. There's one level of support there. If you look at this wick here, we rejected off that, and I'm going to use it twice as support. So if the bearish momentum continues, we have a solid weekly level down there at 10 cent, currently 17 cents. So let's see if this continues to roll over. Weekly support usually a good level to buy, as you can see. Rejection there, rejection above that, but then we had two solid taps on that support area. So there's a good potential. If the market does continue going down, you could fill some orders down at that range. If we do bounce though, let's have a look at this entire move. So far we've rejected off this 382 level. As you can see, this was the top of the move, that's the bottom, and then we're looking for retracement. So we're currently rejected off this area. I think we really need to start closing above that 618 before maybe get a test down here. So that's the first target really, 19 cent, but remember we still have this weekly support level down here at 10 cent to potentially target. Long or short BTC, nothing to be honest, mate. I wouldn't be touching any leverage trades. It's when you're looking at such a volatile market like this, it's definitely not the time to be leverage trading. If you're looking for potential buys, I'd still target this region down here at 28,800. We have been down there, but we have reacted nicely. I mean, that 4-hour candle was lovely, and now we are pushing up further. So 32,189 a minute. Really, we're looking for a close above 33k, which would be a lovely level to close above. If you look at the top of that move, I think that'd be a nice level to target and close above. Can you do Vechain? So going back to weekly, what we'll do here is have a look at some support levels, see if we've got any. Let's move that down there. So that there, if you're looking at a weekly level, we rejected off it 3 times on that line, and we come through it and we use it as support on that major wick on this weekly candle. Obviously we've been through it before, but that dip was, I think that dip was oversubscribed. But looking at the daily, I think if you're looking for buys, I'd still target that region at 5.9 cent, 6 cent area, but currently bounced up nicely at 7.5%, actually up today, 2.4%. I remember this downtrend could continue. This could just be a little relief bounce before further downside. So also got some wicks down here at 3.6 cent, which can't see happening, but who knows, the market is crazy. So there's a support level down there as well. Really, if we just drop to the 4 hour, to regain some momentum, we really need to push up above this 8.1 cent. I think if we close above this 8.1 cent today, we should be able to regain some momentum, and then ultimate target breaking up to 9.4 cent. BTC is on a really nice run at a minute. Currently rejected off that area. .gbp. Wow, yeah, that's completely different. £14, and then yeah, it's a massive, substantial difference. That if you're looking to accumulate some DOT and you've got an account on Binance and an account on Coinbase, there's some good opportunities to do some arbitrage trading there. Yeah, massive, significant difference there. Maybe buy some DOT on Binance at 11 quid, jump over to Coinbase and sell it at 14 quid, go back to other, buy, and just keep doing that until you keep accumulating DOT. That could be a really good opportunity there. I might cancel stream and go and do it. Can someone explain when we close candles? So it's time. So if you're looking on the hourly time frame, this candle will close on the next hour. So the next hourly candle will close at 5, the next candle will close at 6. It's just a matter of time. So 4 hourly candles, you need to work it out. I'll just look at the chart and see when it is. So if you look at this 4 hour candle, so that one closed at 12 o'clock, that one will close at 4 o'clock, and vice versa, and then just work it out on your time frames. Perhaps you could get some big buys to pump it up. I'm not that rich, to be honest, mate. Otherwise I wouldn't have a full-time job at the same time. What's your honest take on the markets at this moment? My honest take is, I feel like it was a major manipulation move to get a lot of people weeded out and a lot of the whales to accumulate a mass amount of Bitcoin. Like last week at some point I think we're 90,000 Bitcoin accumulated, and that's without this drop down to 28k. Plumbed in with that, we have a lot of new people in the market which have, for example, bought anywhere from December to now, who was massively up, but because they're new to the market and don't understand how things work, they're sold at a massive loss. And even if people are in profit, they've sold, and so many people are now leaving the market. It's exactly the same what's happened over the course of the last 3 or 4 years. Whenever you get a big sell-off, people shit their pants and look at that dollar value of their account and think, right, I'm down, what do I do now? I said it on previous videos, you still hold the exact same amount of crypto. So if I hold 100,000 Vechain, I'm still holding 100,000 Vechain. It's just gone down in dollar value. And if you look long term and set targets, and I think you'll be you'd be stupid to sell at a loss if you have done that. And that's what a lot of that is. For me, I still think, I'm not going to say we're bullish, but I still think we've still got a long way to go within this major bull cycle. We've had a massive dip, and it's been an oversubscribed dip for me. I think too many people have shit their pants and sold up, and I still think we've got a good old chunk of way to go, to be honest. But I might be wrong. I'm not an expert, but I just try to say what I feel, and let's see if this is just an accumulation phase. We could always drop down to 24k. It is a massive capitalization pump. I mean, we've had a massive move to upside. There's always a good chance we could come back down to 24k, and even some people have been saying about testing the previous all-time highs. I don't think it'll happen, but let's wait and see what goes on, mate, to be honest. What's the best place to stake DOT? I'm staking mine on the ledger, mate. Yeah, of course it could. Tomorrow you could wake up and China's banned Bitcoin again, and it could get sent to fucking hell down here. I mean, it just depends. I think once enough accumulation has happened on Bitcoin, then it will start to trickle back up, because, like I say, we're still early, and crypto is just getting off the floor, so long way to go yet, and be honest. Market has become scared for holding. Depends, mate. I'm not too fussed. Coinbase blocked DOT receive address. Shock. That is a shock. What about other question up top? Support for Doge. So Doge USDT. We're down here, wasn't it? Think about that region there. So if you look at that on the weekly time frame, we rejected off that area quite a lot, and then we had that major pump, didn't we? I mean, currently at 19 cent. There's actually support down at 8.5 cent, and then this region here around 15 cents. So they're two levels of support. We didn't quite make it actually, but they're levels of support I've got on my chart. Look at it daily. Yeah, I mean, oh, that's that wick there. So we popped down to it then on the 23rd, 22nd of April. Obviously we've had a major pump to upside. Double tweezer bottom here. We've had a good reaction so far, close to that area of liquidity. There's some support down there, but who knows, to be honest. There's not a major amount of support within this range because it was just a massive pump. Overbought territory. I mean, look at my daily. Lots of oversold, sorry. Nothing is overbought at the minute, it's all oversold. BTC's had a bit of a push up, but let's not look to the dominance today, have we? This is a bit of a setup I've got on the Bitcoin dominance. I think at some stage, once this dump is over, Bitcoin is going to try to regain some market dominance, because you can see the only time we really reclaimed an area was back at 62%, and then we dropped solid. We've bounced off 40%, and I think we're going to go back up and test 57%. So Bitcoin could go on a run once we have bottomed. Once it has gone on a run, once it pops up here, I think it could be a good time to buy alts in BTC. If I had to choose to buy more RSR, Vechain or ZIL, oh, tough that, mate. I like them all. Probably RSR because I've not got enough of it, but all three are solid. BNB. Currently at 266. So that's a region of support down there at 212, which is always a potential that it could drop down. It's actually in a red candle still. It is trying to recover a bit. I think we need to close above 272 to regain some momentum. But I mean, if you're looking for buys, I'd still place them down at 210. Remember, there's this area down here at 137, which could be targeted if the market does start to drop down. Yeah, I remember that too, Jonathan. I mean, I remember people saying I wish I bought BTC. Or they wanted to buy BTC up here, but they wouldn't buy it down here. People were saying, "Oh, I wish I could buy it at 30k. I wish I could buy it 20k." When it comes down to it, there's that much favourite market, they won't buy at these prices. So, yeah. Yeah, I've done Vechain, mate. Couple of potential levels to highlight. I mean, if we do bounce back and this continues, we need to regain 8.1 cent. If we close above that, it might be okay. We might be able to spin this around. But if we don't, a good potential to fill some down at 5.9 cent. And then if the market does continue to shit the bed, an area of support down here in that 3.7, 3.4% area. So that's potential down there. But I'm hoping we don't go down there, because that would be an absolute horrific drop. Even though it's bad already, could get worse. How are you thinking about EV though? Buy it up, mate. If it's low, buy it up. What's going on? I've not even looked at the video for a while. I'm not a bear. I'm not a bear. I'm long term bullish. Short term, it is looking bearish short term, but so currently I've got two ranges on here for a video. Actually just dropped through that lower range, which is not the best scenario. Currently 12.9 cent. Long term, this is massively undervalued. Once they have their product launched properly and events are starting to kick off, it will be massive. It's currently only valued about $2 million, $3 million. So yeah, buy it up. It's swapping to Hydrochain later on this year towards next year. So there's not much point analysing that. It's within that accumulation zone. I'd love to buy some more, to be honest, at that range. I bought all mine down here somewhere, less than 1 cent. What do people mean when they say manipulation? So it's when an organisation puts bad press out to affect a price in a bad way to bring it lower or higher. Stocked up on Israel recently? No, I've not. I've just pulled a few grand out of my my yield wallet, just in case the market does go lower. I think if we did start to drop into these regions, I will be topping up. Most of my Zilliq were bought about 1.5, 1.8 cent around that region. So if it came close to that, I probably would look at topping up. Are you English? Random question mark, mate. Massive fib to 34191. So far, it's nice. Need to close above this region though. Was it there? Yeah, closing above there. Really need to get a nice daily candle above that. Let's see if we can push on. Are you accumulating any more ERSDL? I've not even looked at price, to be honest. Let's have a look. Let's say I've unlocked some USDC from my yield wallet. So I might spread it about depending on price of some stuff. Let's have a look. Where's USD? Where's it been? It's been down to 10 cents. Crazy that. Still above this region here. Actually uses that as support, didn't it? So if we just look at that. So that region there, which acts as resistance, come all the way through, and it's close to a support level there. I mean, if you're looking for some buys, maybe set them at 9.5 cents. It's trading on KuCoin, so you can set somewhere there. But yeah, if it come, I think it's a solid buy that, considering it's been up to 170. Long term bullish on that. Short term looks nasty. Alina, how's it going? Do you think it's coming home? Definitely not if you start Sterling every game. Absolute rat shit. He's been horrific. Actually, football's on tonight, innit? I'll be watching it. Probably with one eye shut. He's from Timbuktu. I am. That's exactly where I'm from, buddy. Do I think ETH will go down to 1200? Look at that. Yesterday I must have highlighted that zone there as a buy zone. To 1722, which has been hit. So we've actually bounced back up off that region. So fingers crossed. That was a bottom. Fingers crossed. But if you're looking at 1200, what's down at that region? Suppose you've got a level of support down there. If you look at that wick there, acted as support. So remember, if this continues, there's still possibilities to go lower. So yeah, you could go down to that region. But let's see how this reacts and see if we can go sideways for a bit and then form a base before we push up. But if we don't, we'll lose this level here and we're going to come down there. Yeah, that's a good potential area to target. Calvert Lewin up front. Is he up front? Have they announced team yet? No lineup yet. I'm from Lancs. I live in Lancashire. Not from Lancs, from Yorkshire. West Yorkshire. Wishlist, yeah, I got you. Get some at Young'uns on, get Sancho and get Buddy Bellingham and get all ones who have got some pace on rather than crap like who don't pass about. Get Grealish on. Covered house already. I've not actually, no. Not sure what that red line's for. Looks like a random line. Must have been a fib level. That is just, I mean, that to me just screams out undervalued. I think this year it's just going to be huge. It's currently 2.2 cent. That's an absolute solid buy. I mean, in terms of where you should buy, I mean, I would be happy market buying at this price, to be honest, 2.2 cent. And I couldn't give a rat's ass if it went lower, because 2 cent, that is an insane opportunity. If you want to have a look at some levels, then potentially, if the market does die, you've got 1.4 cent, which looks like it was a nice area of support. So if it does continue to go down and you're looking to pick some orders up, 1.4 cent. But I will be happy, and I might be looking at buying some tomorrow once my yield does land back into my wallet. So I think if you're looking for maybe buys down here, but massively undervalued here, to be honest, mate. Abden Bridge. Yeah, so your long-term huddle or for current bull cycle. Well, if this bull cycle does, well, short-term bear cycle, if it does flip round and starts pushing on towards Q4 end of this year, and it depends where it goes in terms of price and whether I'm happy with a profit, I might look a couple of options. Can either wait for some major growth and withdraw my initial investment, or I could, depending on how far it goes, I could take 50% off the table and then leave the rest for another couple of years. It really depends. Plenty of different scenarios that we could go through. We just need to see what goes on with BTC over the course of the next few months, don't we? I think at some stage we are going to get a bounce and maybe a potential relief rally back up to these regions, but depends how long it could be. I mean, we could come back down to these lows here and then have a slow steady move up, or we could die down here. I can't see it dropping below 20k, to be honest. We could also pretty much come up and reject off this area, come back down and then push on. So it's not massively clear which way we're going to go. So far the only way is showing it's down, but this reaction so far is good. I think I bought RSI about that time, mate. Bought it ages ago. Thoughts on VRA? So look, I think it's on my other charting software. If you look there, it's formed pretty much a double bottom, hasn't it? So that was that initial dump back in May. As you can see there, we act as a support before that next pump up, come down and test that area again. So let's see if we can use that as a double bottom and then start to push on from here. As you can see, we've had a good reaction. It's at 1.2 cent, massively undervalued. It's a new project, massive partnership, so buy the dip. Loving the stripping music. That's all I can get, mate. Otherwise I get copyright hammered. Right, I think that's going to do it for today anyway, because I'm going to go and get some beers, get my feet up, watch football. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's stream. Just some general price action and price analysis there, nothing too major. Still waiting for confirmation. I mean, if we can return up. So far BTC is having a good reaction. I think I've highlighted this area at about 33k. Is a first area to break through, but if we don't, we're going to reject down there and we have 23-24k potential to come down. So yeah, that's going to do it. I appreciate everybody who's tuned in today. If you're new here, please make sure that you are subscribed. I'll be doing another stream first thing tomorrow morning, quite early, about 8 o'clock GMT, as I'm going away for a couple of days. So I'll try and fire a stream out in the morning before I go away. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and I will catch you later. Come on, England!